Hello, this is David Starr, and in this video we'll be discussing how to share your data so your customers and consumers can buy it. We'll cover how to sell it through the Azure Marketplace in a later video. Right now we're going to discuss creating a data share, which is the set of data that you will sell in your offer. We start by looking at the fact that we have a data share resource already provisioned within our subscription and our tenant. We did this in an earlier video, and you can go back and watch how to install the data share and the related services that come with the installation for the provider, the data provider. So a data share resource exposes a data share. And the share has a name, of course, and we name it very carefully. We name our shares such that they're going to later match IDs that we set up for plans in the consumer marketplace. Now, what does this mean for you? It means in this case, we're going to share some COVID information, and this is going to be our public offer, right? So when someone comes in and selects click to buy the COVID information, then this is the data share that they're going to be receiving. A data share consists of data sets, and a data set is data that is harvested from blob storage in raw data. And we'll see how this works in just a moment. Next, we can create data shares that are actually made for private offers. So we might have COVID slides private 1, COVID slides private 2, and these would contain different data sets that we want to offer to our customers. So maybe we've negotiated a private, or maybe we've negotiated a custom pricing model for one of our customers, and we're creating and exposing a private data share for them. We'll talk about that in a later video, looking at how to sell in the marketplace. Now let's hop over to a demo and see how this all actually works. As you can see, here we are in our portal, and we're looking at the resources that were created after we installed our publisher resources in a previous video. The number one thing we're going to look at now is our data share. So we'll go into our data share, and it's in here that we're going to create the shares that our customers can buy from us. So obviously we're going to start sharing our data. When we do this, we're going to first create a new data share, and I'm going to name it COVID Info Public 1, just like we saw on our slide a few moments ago. I'll leave snapshot where it is. This could be an in-place share, but for the data marketplace, we're going to use snapshot shares all the time. To keep things simple, I'm just going to put in the name of our share description. And in terms of use, we could put additional terms of use on this data share, but we're going to skip that for now and go right into selecting our data sets. We're going to put some data sets into our data share so that people can buy them. And we'll select COVID data that we have in some of our data sources, our raw data sources. Note that in the pilot, we're currently only supporting Azure Blob Storage, so I'll select that and we'll move to the next screen. Here, I'm going to narrow down the resource groups to the one with my raw data in it, and here it is. So within here, I have two storage accounts, and I have health data and data that comes from the nonprofit USA Facts organization. First, I'm going to choose data from my health data repository or storage account. I'll select next, and it shows me the containers within this blob storage account. So I'm going to select COVID-19 demographics and COVID-19 slides. Now, before I select demographics, I just want to show you that I could drill down in here and select only a few blobs to share directly. I don't have to share the whole container, but in our case, we're going to go ahead and share the whole container. We'll say next. And if we wanted to, we could rename the data sets that are going to be in our data share. But I'll leave these as they are because they're fairly descriptive. So we'll go ahead and add that data set, which contains 2 data sets actually. And now we'll create yet one more data set in our data share. I'm going to filter back down to our raw data resource group. And this time I'll select data out of USA Facts. And this time you can see that we have some health information from USA Facts. And this time we're only going to select those blobs that contain information about COVID. We select next, going to leave the blob names in place as they are. They're fairly descriptive. I'll hit create data set, and you can see now that we have 2 containers up at the very top, and we have 3 blobs. We'll go ahead and continue, and we can actually skip all the way to review and create because we're not going to send this data set to any particular person. We're just going to keep it available for purchase later. I'll go ahead and create this data share. And here we are. We can see our new data share. We can even drill down into it and see the data sets that we created. We'll go back up to our shares, and this is probably sufficient for an initial data share.